the filmmaker,
And I'm Casey, the cinephile.
and you're listening to Two Guys, One Movie. I probably should have announced that last time because I didn't, because we suck. But we're going to be reviewing...
What's this wee garbage?
Well, just me, I suck. We're going to be talking about Spider-Man 2, or 1 today, Spider-Man 1 today.
No.
But before that, though...
Okay. Well, I thought we were doing 2.
Oh, we're doing Spider-Man 2. We're doing one of them. No, we're doing Spider-Man 2. But before we get into that, the amazing Spider-Man 2. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about Robin Williams and his unfortunate passing on Monday. Well, that's when I heard about it. I don't know exactly when it was, but I think it was Monday, right?
Whatever day the 11th was.
Okay, well, that's the day that, you know, I remember where I was. It's one of those things like almost like 9/11, you know, where you stop and you remember where you were when you found out.
Yeah.
And that to me kind of speaks how iconic of an actor he was.
And comedian.
And comedian. I mean, he was everything.
Yeah.
As a filmmaker, I watched Jumanji a crap ton when I was a kid, not knowing that I was going to be a filmmaker when I grew up, but crap ton of times I watched Jumanji, Aladdin, Mrs. Doubtfire, all those films. I mean, Jumanji, I keep saying that, but that movie, I can almost quote it. That's how many times I've seen it. And I literally, when my phone beeped, because I have CNN app on my phone, and, you know, it said, Robin Williams, loved actor, passed away. And I was like, what? No. I literally said no. Like, I actually said that out loud. Nobody's in the house with me. My dogs looked at me weird. Yeah. But I literally said no. And it was just devastating. And, there's probably not a more important actor to my filmmaking background than Robin Williams. And that's I feel bad for his family. But, he was obviously wrestling with some demons, as we've heard at the later things. And it just, I don't even know what to say. I've still lost of words.
I mean, I'm not going to. I think the knee-jerk thing is to judge, and I think it's easy.
Right.
It's easy to judge somebody and say, "How could he have done that?" But you don't know.
Right.
You don't know what you would do in that situation.
And I don't really want to know what was going through his head at that time. I don't want to know those things. I feel bad for the guy, but I don't remember him by that action. I remember him from what he did in those films, and from Hook. Hook was another really big movie from my childhood that I watched all the time, and I just, I saw a graphic. It says, "Don't worry, guys, I'll be back," and it was a picture of Neverland. Yeah, and I was like, that's exactly his legacy.
Well, I'll remember him from like his stand-up. Like there was one where he's like, talking to like potheads, talking to alcoholics. He's like, alcoholism is a crutch, and he's like, oh really, Captain Herbalife? You're over there eating kitty litter, going, that's real crunchy.
I remember that, and then seeing the new Kit Kat commercial. Yeah. Do this for Mother Russia. That was so great. I was like, they couldn't have picked a better actor to do that. So, but I'll just, and lastly on the subject, I'll just say that he will be missed. That he left a legacy behind. And, he set the foundation for me and other filmmakers and other actors and crew that work on film. I mean, he's very iconic, not just for people who watch and are entertained by him, but for people who build off of careers like that. Just watching him, he was great. So.
Yeah, all the way back to when he was on Happy Days.
Happy Days.
Mork and Mindy. I mean, it's just...
Nanu.
Yeah. I mean, personally, like, my heart and thoughts go out to his family, and... I'm sure he had monetarily they're probably okay, but other than that, I'm sure this is really hard for them.
Yeah.
So. All
right. So we're gonna move on to a lighter subject. I would say lighter. I don't know Casey's review yet. He's smiling over there, so I don't know what that means.
Well, tell him what shirt I'm wearing.
He does have a Spider-Man shirt on it. I don't know which one that is. Is that That's the show, the Ultimate Spider-Man?
I would say this is more Amazing Sonic.
Okay.
Amazing Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Amazing Spider-Man, because it's got the web underarm.
Anyways, it's a badass shirt. But I don't know what he's gonna do to this because Spider-Man is like his baby.
I'm going to start out with a really positive comment.
Okay.
This movie made me question why I like Spider-Man.
Oh, God. Yeah, there you go. Go on.
It's just, There's so many little things that, and so I'll just start. I'll pick a thing and then you can respond.
Okay.
Like one of my biggest things was like the first thing that made me just is when he's with Gwen Stacy and they're going like oh, we're just gonna be friends. Okay, but we have to make ground rules. First off, you have to have a not so cute laugh. And she's like, and he's like, oh, that's still adorable. And I was just like, ah.
At least they put Gwen Stacy in the story.
Yes,
I'm
but
surprised they even did that. I know that Gwen Stacy's an important thing, but I agree with you. Go ahead.
it's like Uncle Ben. Everybody knows what's gonna happen, and they're spending so much time when they spend like so little time establishing the fact that like he's friends with Harry Osborn, and I would have liked more time establishing that Peter Parker is friends with Harry Osborn,
right.
and then understanding, because really explain why he felt like he was betrayed by what Spider-Man did later on in the movie.
Yeah, because I felt just like, okay, I don't know where I hate him.
Yeah. It was like, remember what? Hey, because you get that little walk along. Hey, remember we're friends?
Yeah, and then suddenly you hated him. Well, and I will give this to something I don't like to talk about because they're god-awful movies to me, but the Sam Raimi trilogy of Spider-Man. I'm talking about the Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst,
Right.
James Franco one. I don't like talking about this because I really hate them. But
Which
he had a better way, Sam Raimi had a better way of establishing the hate between those two characters.
Yeah.
And that's something that this one didn't have. It's just like, hey, we're friends. Remember we grew up together. Oh, by the way, I hate your guts.
Which I always mess up and say like Toby Keith instead of Tobey Maguire. And I'm like, wow, that would have made that movie a whole different.
Yeah. Like Red Solo Cup. Anyways. So I don't even know if he sang that song. That's the first thing that came up. But anyways, so yeah, no, and well, let me just put it this way. This movie I liked because of the people behind the scenes. That's why I liked it.
Yeah.
Mark Webb, he directed 500 Days of Summer. He's directed some episodes of The Office. He's done some music videos, and I have a big musical background to where I like that in a director. I like that background, so I like him. Alex Kurtzman, can't even say it right. He's a big producer writer kind of guy. He's producer writer for Transformers, Star Trek. If you know the new Star Trek reboot with Chris Pine, I absolutely love that film. So he was in it, and also Robert Orci, who, speaking of Star Trek, is supposed to take over. I know it's totally off. But anyways, he also, kind of to the Transformers team, Star Trek as well, and Amazing Spider-Man 2. He was producer and writer, I believe, of those. Oh. And he's executive producer of the Van Helsing reboot, the Mummy reboot, and the Power Rangers reboot coming out right now. This guy is everywhere, so watch out for Robert Orci. Casey's face is like, no.
Okay, I'm just we're gonna step away from the Power Rangers because that would be a whole other podcast.
So, anyways, characters wise, I like Andrew Garfield. I like Emma Stone, Jamie Foxx. I like Dan DeHaan, the Green Goblin guy. I like him. I like Paul Giamatti, Sally Field, all those people. I think they made up everybody they needed to make up.
Well, see, and my problem with Paul Giamatti is like you get a little bit of him, and like
that's it.
He's at the beginning, he's at the end.
And
You don't really know much about his character. The only thing I know is that even if they order it, he is not drinking Merlot.
Wait, what was that? What is that from? Tell me. You gotta explain that one now.
Okay, Sideways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn it! I hate when I don't get references like that. But anyways,
I've been waiting for weeks to use that.
was that the joke you were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, so Andrew Garfield. Let's talk about the main man here, Mr. Peter Parker himself. My brother-in-law. Hold on, before you say anything, Casey. I saw his face. My main thing about Andrew Garfield is my brother-in-law is a huge Spider-Man fan, probably close to, if not the same par level as Casey is. and he even said it himself that Spider-Man's funny. You know, like the scene, I think it was in the first one where he was like fighting the cop. He's like, this is so easy, this is so easy. The guy was like robbing he was just being funny. That is the right kind of Spider-Man. That's the one I grew up on the cartoon when I saw it.
Right. The quippy.
Yeah. The quirky, funny guy, a nerdy little kid that was funny, not so emo as the Sam Raimi ones that I got so mad at. But I think that they cast this perfectly. This is perfect casting, even for a, not Native American. Well, Native American, that sounds like an Indian, but not for an American-born, accent person, which is really hard for a lot of people to do. He did it fine. I didn't hear in his foreign accent because I do believe he is British.
I can neither confirm nor deny those allegations.
Yeah, okay, but I do believe he is, and I'm looking it up right now. I want to know.
Well, while you're looking that up,
British-born mother was born in Los Angeles, California, to a British-born mother, American-born father.
He's a half-breed.
He's a muggle. Anyways, I'm pretty sure he has an accent. I'm pretty sure I saw that. But anyways, he did a good job. Yeah. That's another podcast right there.
Yeah.
Harry Potter. We're not going to talk
But anyway, no, just really quick, I just want to set up my Spider-Man. Because when I was a kid, my first introduction to Spider-Man was sitting in the waiting room at the barbershop my mom would take me to. And they had a stack of Spider-Man comic books in the waiting room. Because he was like, I do kids' hair. I'm going to have comic books. Yeah. And that's how I got into it. I read those bent up, used comic books that were coming apart. And that was, just like a lot of people, to me, Spider-Man, he's a hero, but he's also an everyman. He's a flaw. Yeah. Like a lot of the DC comic characters, they are just so super, if that makes any sense.
No, you're saying they're not as real.
You can't,
I can relate.
Yeah, I can relate to Spider-Man because he has problems, he has issues. That's why I got into Spider-Man, and he has been my favorite superhero since then. And I will say that in this movie, they did, when he's in Spider-Man mode and when he's fighting visually, everything, that's good. I just can't click. Either one, the Peter Parker aspect of either of the movie series has just not clicked with me.
It doesn't feel right.
It just doesn't feel right because to me they never get that because in the comic books he is a genius nerd sort of thing, sort of person, and I don't know. It just seems like they were trying to make him too cool in the Amazing universe.
So obviously this was a setup for something bigger. We know that Amazing Spider-Man 2 had a lot of villains in it, and I don't know anything about this from the comic book world.
Yeah.
But obviously, from what I read online and what I've seen everywhere, this is for the Sinister Six.
Right.
So that's all on you, Casey, because I don't know anything about them.
Well, and the Sinister Six is Sinister Six. I don't know how to words. Is actually pretty interesting in and of itself because there hasn't been just one Sinister Six.
There's been multiple sets.
There's been multiple sets.
Wow.
And but it's one of the only actual villain groups that has existed. But let's see, I'm bringing that up real quick. But there's been the Sinister Six, the Sinister 12.
Jeez.
Why
do they do it in multiple
Sinister Six? The Superior Six. The first one was Dr. Octopus, Vulture, Electro, Kraven the Hunter, which you probably haven't heard of.
Nope.
Mysterio, which you probably haven't heard of.
Actually, I have.
Oh, okay. And the Sandman.
I haven't heard of him. I'm just kidding.
So I'm really curious. I know they're going to have the Vulture in this one. I don't know because you see the wings in that vault. I don't know if they're going to bring in the Scorpion. And I'm not talking about the get over here.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh my God, yes, this has got better. But it's not the one.
It's not the one. No. But, there was also the Sinister Seven for a while. But I don't think they're going to bring in Kraven the Hunter. which Kraven the Hunter was this character who was he was a big game hunter who was like, I need more of a challenge. I'm going to hunt Spider-Man.
Okay. I don't think I want that guy in there.
And, which actually that was one of the best storylines. It was called Kraven's Last Hunt. Like if I could see that just be a standalone movie, that would be amazing, but it's never going to happen. But anyway, I know they're going to do Dr. Octopus because
Right.
we saw that.
I saw a post on if that same actor, which I forgot his name from the Sam Raimi one, was going to play Doc Ock. I've got to look that up now because it's going to bother me. But if was that Spider-Man 2? Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
If that same actor was going to come back and play him in the Sinister Six, or if he was going to be in Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 3. Alfred Molina. I should have known that. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
I should have known that. But anyways, if he was going to come back and play him in this, which I thought he played him really well, but I like that actor. He was in the movie with Nick Cage, Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh, yeah.
Was that him? With Jay Baruchel or whatever his name is, the kid. And then he played the bad guy, right?
I don't think, well, he played one of the bad guys because, like, the main bad guy was that chick, but.
I don't remember. God damn it. I got to look this up too. Okay, but anyways, while we're all
I don't know. It's been a while since I watched that movie.
Jay Baruchel. How do you say his last name? Anyways, I hate that guy. That's a whole nother podcast. Yeah, Alfred Molina. He played Horvath, whatever. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, I actually would like to see him come back and play Doc Ock. I think he did a good job. But I don't know because Mark Webb, the director of this, he wants nothing to do with the Sam Raimi trilogy.
Which I can understand.
Which we can all understand. I think that would probably damage the franchise, even though I like this actor.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Which means we're not going to get J.K. Simmons back as J.J. Jameson.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah. Because he nailed that.
Oh,
so,
man.
I mean, just really.
Barker!
Spider-Man's a menace. He's a menace.
Well, now he's doing all those State Farm commercials or whatever he's doing. But, oh, man, yeah. No, he was so good. That sucks because I've actually liked to see him come back, but he's not going to. They're not going to touch anybody from the Sam Raimi trilogy.
But I just don't know how they're going to do a villain only movie. What are they going to do in the Sinister Six? Is it just going to show like they're making the mess and then there's going to be a sequel to that of Spider-Man cleaning things up?
No, I think I don't know because it'll be the opposite of Avengers.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense to me. I could see why they did that because one of my favorite shows, Battlestar Galactica. I'm going to go on this really quick because I don't want to spend a lot of time on that because that's a whole nother podcast. But they did that. I know. So let me say that. Anyways, they had a movie called The Plan where we went into the bad guys, which were the alien robots called Cylons.
Yeah.
That they actually went in and showed you what they were doing while the humans were struggling to escape them. And to me, now I know I saw The Plan, the movie The Plan, Battlestar The Plan. I don't remember it, so I don't know how well it worked. The fact that I don't remember it probably isn't good.
No.
So, but anyways, I don't see how that would work. They would have to have. I mean, who fought the Sinister Six in the comics?
Spider-Man.
Okay, so
that was there's been a long-going tradition in the Spider-Man comic books of having like Spider-Man just get the crap beat out of him.
Yeah, I kind of get that from the movies.
Totally. I mean, they really haven't. They've barely scratched the surface of it in the movies.
Whooping his ass.
I mean, just toe up.
Yeah.
Which led me to believe, like, when I was a kid, I was like, so does Spider-Man has a heavy healing factor?
Yeah, he's pretty much the Wolverine of this battling.
Yeah, it's just...
He's just going to get shot and be like, oh, well.
And it's just that and, like, the other, like, Spider-Man trope in comic books is he can't be happy for very long. He does not get to be happy for very long.
No.
It's like... They actually... When he got married and settle down with what's her name, the red-haired girl,
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane.
How did I know that? And
Yeah, because I brain farted. But anyway,
okay.
they actually had him make a deal with the devil just to retcon that.
Yeah.
One more day. I know people out there are cringing just hearing about that.
Okay, so
But
a plot. We'll talk about that really quick. Yeah, so I actually, but before I really get into plot, I want to talk about Jamie Foxx playing Electro. It's Electro, right? That's how you say it? Okay.
yes,
Awesome.
not the Shocker. That's a different guy.
Yeah. What? Although
Yes,
that's something you
that's
did with your hand.
Just IMDb it or Google it. I mean,
Okay.
but
Yeah, but anyway, so I think he did great
with what he had to work with.
what he had to work with. And I like that they didn't like Jamie Foxx bait it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't all about him. Even though they had a big name playing a bad guy,
Yeah,
he wasn't over there the whole time.
yeah, but
Or he didn't fill up the screen the whole time. Yeah, I know there probably could have been somebody else, but thought it was good. I didn't like the pre-Electro thing.
yeah,
I didn't
where
like
he's
that.
like
I love Spider-Man.
nerdlinger.
I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man loves me. I'm somebody.
He was like nerdlinger, and they're like pushing
Yeah.
over, and he's got plans and rolled
Yeah,
up
and then
papers
like he
for them to knock out.
obsessed with Spider-Man. Like I didn't like that. I don't know if that's in the comic books. I don't know.
No, it's not. No,
Yeah. Shame on you, Mark Webb. Shame on you.
Also, my thing with Electro is okay. Spider-Man got bit by a spider.
Right.
They have venom in their fangs. Okay.
Okay.
Jamie Foxx's character, he got bit by Max
eel.
Dillon.
What?
Max Dillon was the person's name.
Okay.
He got bit by eels and
That's
which
what
don't have
Venom.
and then he got electrocuted, and then it exploded, and he was in a cocoon. And well, because they never explained, like in the first one, they explained, they were like, oh, these spiders were part of this experiment to blah blah blah, but then they were just like, oh, there's just electric eels under the thing he has to fix.
Yeah. That
Science.
makes sense. Yes.
Because science.
Because science, bitch. Yeah. No.
And I was just like, ah.
Yeah.
Because he is one of the most iconic. He's one of those iconic characters. And they were just like, oh, they might as well have just not had a background story. Because you knew that was going to happen. As soon as they were like, hey, you got to go fix the wire, Jim, you knew what was going to happen. There was no surprise.
Yeah.
They could have cut that scene off and just had him walk through the thing and just showed some flashing lights come out the door and
You know some shit went down and he's now Superman.
Yeah.
Super Electric Man. Okay, yeah, no. Okay,
But-
so but plot. So we're on plot now.
and another thing was his motivation and what he was doing. Like, what was he doing? I don't understand what he was trying to do, because at least in the first one, I know what like the lizard was trying to do. I don't entirely understand why, but I understand that whole spray the thing out to turn everyone into
lizards. So was he trying to make everyone electric? I don't know.
No, he was like I designed that thing, so I'm gonna go
Change it to be evil.
something. And then but I did like his internal monologue dubstep whatever that was going along.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That was kind of cool, that like dubstep during the fight. That was cool. I enjoyed that, but everything just felt like an excuse to get to the next, action set piece.
So that's what you think of the plot.
It was just like,
yeah, and I agree.
Here's an excuse. Here's an excuse for Gwen Stacy to be there so she can
Yeah. I don't know how to explain what I think of the plot. To me, I would like a movie where Peter Parker doesn't have so many personal demons going on. I know he's got a lot of bad background. He's, Uncle Ben died and everything, fine. But I would like a movie to where he's got his shit together. And just like maybe he has to fight an overwhelming force instead of being, let me battle these personal demons and now I'm going to go fight this guy. I know that maybe it's his background. Maybe that is Spider-Man. But to me, it just seems he's a smart guy. He could have his shit together.
Well, and the thing is like that's part of his life, but it's not a big part of it. It's not always a big part of the story. There's times when it's just Spider-Man versus whoever, and the home life takes it back. So yeah, they totally could have had it to where yes, he has his life, he has his home life, he has his school life, or whatever. But that could have been a smaller part of the movie.
Right. Oh, speaking of Spider-Man 2, it's actually out on DVD and Blu-ray today. So,
but I'm just gonna go back to my previous statement. It was like the things that they showcased in this movie, the things that like it just felt like, oh, he's so like made Peter Parker seem so whiny. It just made me wonder why I like Spider-Man.
Yeah. I like these new versions of Spider-Man. I mean, there may be things that, I gripe about, but I like it. But I have a man crush on Mark Webb. I have a man crush on a lot of people.
Yeah, you do.
But
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole nother podcast. But
I'll just leave to yourself for that one.
I'll probably record it myself. But okay, so now I'm down to the Final Judgment. Buy, rent, or pass.
I say if you have to, maybe stream it.
Rent or stream, they count.
Yeah, but you're not missing. Personally, I think you're not missing out if you give this one a pass.
Oh wow.
Sorry fans. I
Wow.
hated this movie. I really hated this movie.
Yeah.
No fun for Casey.
I would say rent, you'll be entertained if you're just a casual moviegoer.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, my house, this will be my collector's edition. This is one we will own. I'm surprised it's not already in my hand since it came out today, but.
So you're saying you're not casual, bro?
No. If anybody knows anything about me, I don't really like comic book movies, but I know that this one will will have a place in my house. So,
yeah.
So
I think my biggest problem is I'm just too nitpicky. I spent too much time reading the source material, and I just really feel like this is an okay movie that could have been a great movie if they did some tweaks and changes.
Awesome. All right. Well, I am Rudy the filmmaker with Casey the
cinephile. Casey the cinephile. Until we think of something different.
Yeah. So it was great. It was awesome, and we'll see you guys later.
Keep it real.